best of inspirational music and conversation radio. Brand new day with Emily Blue, right here on We Talk Radio. I am your host, Emily Blue, and thank you for joining us. I want to talk to you about refreshing your focus. I was reading a blog online that basically shares this very topic that we're going to talk about really quickly. It's important, as we know, to take care of ourselves. Build specific moments in your day to step away and clear your mind. Here are 5 quick things that you can do to refresh your focus. First, take a walk outside. The combination of fresh air and exercise stimulates the blood flow to the brain so you can regain clarity and focus. 2, drink a glass of water. Most of us are chronically dehydrated, and studies show dehydration can slow down brain function. So if you find yourself lacking focus, take a break for a glass of water, and it can perk you up. 3, breathe in and diffuse lemon essential oil. Keep a bottle of lemon essential oil at your desk and inhale it from the bottle or a drop to a cotton ball. It will naturally refocus your mind. Eat something healthy. It's always good to eat something healthy to stabilize your blood sugars and take away the hunger pains, and do it in a way that's healthy and takes care of your brain function properly. And last but not least, take a nap. A 20-minute nap provides significant benefits for improved alertness and performance, according to the National Sleep Foundation. So take these steps to refresh your focus. It'll really boost your day. I want to just share with you briefly about compassion fatigue. If you see a friend that is struggling or in pain, your first instinct is likely to help them in any way you can, especially if you think or you know that person is in an unhealthy relationship, situation, or whatever the case may be. But unfortunately, sometimes this can cause our tank to be unfilled. And so what happens to us, we start to feel emotionally exhausted. Compassion fatigue is a type of stress that involves physical and emotional depletion as a result of caring for someone in significant emotional or physical distress. People experiencing compassion fatigue usually display a lack of empathy or indifference towards the person that they're caring for. Does that sound familiar? Other symptoms include headaches, digestive problems, feeling overwhelmed, or irritability. I would like to share more information with you about the subject of compassion fatigue. If you would log on to Brand New Day on our Facebook page or our Instagram page, we will be more than happy to share with you 5 signs that you are experiencing compassion fatigue and how to move past it. I am so excited to share with you a wonderful person who can masterfully discuss our topic for today, heart matters. Let's welcome founder of the Black Heart Association, author, educator, licensed counselor, certified restorative practitioner, and certified trauma-informed practitioner, Mrs. Tara Robinson, to the Brand New Day family. Good evening, Tara.
Good evening. How are you guys?
Doing amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on today. We really appreciate you taking out the time to be with us.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get started. I want you to just tell our listening audience a little bit about yourself and what you do.
A little bit about myself. Like you announced earlier, I'm a counselor. I'm a trauma practitioner. I work with a lot of people who have gone through childhood trauma, which leads to chronic illness. So many things that I do, but the most important thing about me is that I'm a 3-time heart attack survivor, and I am now the founder of the Black Heart Association.
Yes, I am so excited about this endeavor. I know that you've been working towards getting this just where you want it, and I feel you have hit that spot. So tell us a little bit more about, I know the longer backstory about why you're passionate about the organization that you started, but tell us a little bit more about the Black Heart Association.
Well, I don't know. There's so much to tell. So 2017, I started Rock Your Heart as I thought that would be the foundation that would draw people in. But I realized, okay, that wasn't catching people's attention. It didn't have the power like the name Black Heart Association does. So fast forward, I just began to pray for God to show me which way he wanted me to take our focus. And so my brother-in-law passed away about 2 months ago from a massive heart attack, which left my niece and my nephew and my sister without him, and it was so devastating because it was all of a sudden. And I remember carrying his black suit to the car and thinking this would have been my funeral. This would have been how my husband would have felt, how my children would have felt, how the rest of the family would have felt if this was me who had passed away so suddenly. And that definitely could have been my story. So the pain I felt from losing my brother-in-law and carrying that black suit birthed Black Heart Association.
So let's talk a little bit about what this month is, which is the month of May, which is National Stroke Awareness Month. I want to ask you some questions about what we can do better to facilitate our health in this area, especially in the culture, the society we live in now with, all of the processed foods, all of the stress, and all of the different things that are going on in the, in the world. What are some tips that you think we can do to try to better manage it from your perspective?
From my perspective, first of all, it comes from just living healthier lives. And when we talk about living healthier lives, we automatically go to exercise and we go to crash diets. That's what goes on in so many minds. And we try all these different diets, and it's just a mess. First step, I believe that we need to do is evaluate our lives and put a plan in place, especially with stroke, because seconds count. And there needs to be my big push with Black Heart Associations that as Black families, we get an emergency plan in place. What happens in case of emergency if you have a stroke? First, you need to know the symptoms, which is fast. I believe that's face drooping, slurred speech, time, and I'm trying to think of that one other one I can't think of right off the top of my head for some reason. But first, know the symptoms of stroke, then know who's going to call 911, and then have someone that's going to be your advocate. And make sure you have all your medical documents and papers so that they know how to treat you quickly and efficiently. Secondly, before we even get to that part, we need to think about preventative measures. So you need to go to the doctor, and you need to know what your baseline is. You need to know where you are as far as cholesterol, where you are as far as blood pressure. And not when they give you those numbers, you need to ask them to break it down. So it's a shared decision-making process with you and your doctor. You need to know, okay, how close am I to having bad cholesterol? Because they'll tell you, okay, you're good, but some of us are borderline. That's too close. So we need to know those numbers, and we need to make sure we're having thorough conversations with our doctors. Secondly, when we talk about diet, we're talking about not just we're talking about the food we put in the consumption of food, the types of food we put in our mouth. We're all guilty of, sweets and Cokes and everything. We're all guilty of that, but we have to be really aware of how we take care of our bodies as far as food is concerned. Then we also have to exercise. I know that this is a thorn in many people's side. It is a thorn in mine. And so that is another thing that we have to focus on. And
yeah.
I would say those couple of things: having an emergency plan in place, having a shared decision-making conversation with your doctor so you can know what your baseline is. Go see the cardiologist.
Mm-hmm.
Most doctors are not going to say, go see your cardiologist. I think if you can do it, go see a cardiologist and establish a baseline, especially if you have a history of heart disease. And what people need to know, a history of stroke. Stress will kill you. It is a silent killer. It leads to stroke as well as heart disease. So with it being stroke month, let's just say we need to go establish a baseline right today, tomorrow. Call your doctor after the holiday is over and say, I just want to come in and establish a baseline of where I'm at and what I need to do better.
Yes, that's real important, especially like you said, with us as individuals, if we have a family history, and that's a part of knowing your numbers too, people. Know your family history so that you can, articulate to the doctors, a little bit more, so you can give them more information so that they can, do more testing, appropriate testing, I would say.